Warming up the wrists, ready to take weight on the hands, flexing and stretching the wrists. Gently pulling the fingers towards. Release the toes, sitting down. Stretching the front of the foot, reaching back, lifting, keeping the toes tucked underneath, stretching the front of the foot. A few breaths. Back. And then the other side. Starting again, releasing the foot, reaching the hands either side, taking the weight forwards over the front foot, not letting the heel lift, using your body weight to just encourage flexion in the front of the foot. The side. Try not to let the heel lift. And then coming back. Quadruped stance. Work on the spine, rounding like a cat. Lifting the belly high. And then arching the spine, looking forwards, not tightening the throat. A few of those. Inhale, exhale. Let the elbows just soften naturally. Slight bend of the fingertips, pressing the fingertips into the floor. Head to hip, tuck the tail, round to the other side, arch, and begin again. And then let the elbows bend as you circle your ribs and spine, other direction. Coming back to a squat. Sitting heels down, or you can put something under the heels to help. And just shifting a little bit from side to side, not just working through static positions. Opening the arm, taking the eyes to the top arm, movement through the upper body. And then taking weight onto the hands, and then back to a squat. Weight onto the hands. Practice dropping your head, lifting the hips, taking that into a little bunny jump. You can let the feet kick up together, springing lightly off the toes. Take that into moving around the space, using the cantilever between the head and the hands. And again, you don't have to hit an even squat in between. Sometimes you can change the legs up a little bit. Good. Coming back to the squat. Coming up a bit higher, reaching the hands forward, pressing the hips forward, squatting, pressing the hips. Really feel the power through the feet and the glutes as you press the hands back. Few squats. and then easing off the legs. Heel rocks. Going backwards onto the heels, forward onto the toes, and using the arms to push and push and push and push. Taking that push into a little jump spring and push. Try and land lightly. Keep the feet relaxed. Absorb the weight through the feet. Taking this into jumping. And then easing off the legs. Double jump squat. Do it this way. Jump, squat. Jump, jump, squat. Jump, jump, squat. Jump, jump, squat. Rest up. Into a burpee. But first of all, we're going to just move into downward dog. Stretch the legs first. And then once you've got the position, just have a little play around with that movement. So it's not a static position. And then bending, looking forwards. And then jump. And then hands replace. We jump back. And again, jump. Bring the feet to the hands. And then hands back to feet. Keep the legs nice and pliant. Trying to lift the hands as soon as the feet hit the floor. Taking that into a simple burpee. We're going to jump, jump, squat, hands and feet, bend, hands and feet, up. Jump, jump, squat, hands and feet, and back. Keep going. A few reps of that. We're coming down to the mat, stepping forwards, long lunge, long spine, hands either side of the feet, and then inhale, round the spine, exhale, lengthen. A few times in, and out, and in, and out. Change to the other side, and from the starting position, in and out, in and out, in and out. Taking the foot wider on the mat, hands on the inside, little bounce, and then change, little bounce, and change. Keep this going. Bounce, bounce, change, change, bounce, 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 bounce. And then just rest. Sitting down. Coming up, we're going to open the hips, open, keep the torso stable, we don't want it to rock around, other side. going to cross the legs, sitting forwards, hips shift back, just sitting in this position for a moment. Feel the standing foot on the floor, and then undo, other side, and crossing at the thighs, hips shift back with the arms. So under, and then hands together and elbows lifting, squeezing the thighs together, gazing towards the forearms. Eagle pose. Releasing. Other side. Down. The front leg. It's the same arm goes underneath. Then reach for the palms. Lift the elbows high. Sit into that eagle position. And release. We're going to split the legs. Bend one leg, reach forwards and up. Down and up. Down and up. Let the hips shift away behind you, and then we'll take that into a push. Push and down. Push and down. Push and down. Push and down. And then other side. Sitting the hips back, reaching forward. Stretch the legs as you push the palms backwards. Squeeze the glutes. And a few reps of this, feeling the power of the legs. And then take it into a push, 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 push. Good, sitting down deeply. Back to downward facing dog. We're going to take the leg straight up behind, don't let it cross behind, and into plank, so you can really feel the flexion of the wrists as we bring the weight forwards. Lift navel to spine, so suck up the belly, few on that side, then the other side, in and in. Really have a good grip with the hands because you don't want to slip. Okay, then resting out. We've now got downward facing dog, bear pose, elbows to knees. Then we're pitching the weight forwards. We're going to let the elbows come into the body, try and hover, then draw the chest through into a cobra, shoulders down. And a few reps of that, from dog to bear to crocodile and up. One more. Up. Bend the elbows backwards, back parallel to the floor, knees coming towards the elbows. Pitch forward more than a plank, forwards on the hands, crocodile down, lift the chest and sit back on the knees. Just ease out the wrists. Wild thing. From downward dog, lift up one knee in parallel, turn it out to the side, twist the body, look under the arm and just let yourself shift over. Keep this top arm by the ear as you reach back behind you. Then push to come back over, and then the other side. Parallel knee, turn the knee out, twist the body, look towards the foot, take that off, and then reach backwards. Arm by the ear. The arm can come further back, so you're almost going into a back bend on one arm, and then back. Couple more, we can speed up a little bit. Push the hips up and back and in. Just walking the hands back, bending into a deep squat. Lift the hips high and just holding onto both elbows, just forward fold, keeping the knees bent so that you can feel the weight of the head, and just take a little swing around in this movement. Coming down to seated. Sitting up tall, holding onto both knees, rounding the spine, leaning back. Get a bit of traction on the knees so that you can stretch back the shoulders. Then coming up. And again, a couple of times. I'm just going to turn sideways. I'm going to take that into a rock back. Round the spine to rock back. Come to seated, see if you can hover, feet off the floor. And again, round the spine. Find a bit of natural momentum with this. Balance, so you're using your core to stabilise. Good. We're going to give a little bit more momentum to bring ourselves onto the feet. Reaching forward with the hands, reach to stand. And then planting the tailbone and bum down to start again. We're going to take that into a jump. And jump press. Jump press. Jump press, etc. Jump press. And then lying down on the floor. Feet together. Knees open, arms relaxed above the head, just resting out. Trying to soften into the hip joints. Feeling the body is nice and open. Letting the breath come back. Then taking the feet up, either holding onto the back of the thighs or the shins, or getting your hands on the outsides of the feet. Tailbone stays down. So this is called happy baby pose, but we're going to turn it into baby gorilla pose. So we're going to start rocking a little bit from side to side. Close your eyes as you do this. Just feel natural momentum as you rock. And then we can make it a little bit bigger by letting the legs close to the side and then open. Then resting in semi-supine or corpse pose.